Pretty even and late. We're underway. Selvin Davids goes deep to Dowling for Australia. As I mentioned, couple of injuries, 2 players out, and one of them had to go home. Hayden Sargent kicks. It's a good kick too. David just herring back for the Blitzbok. Here's the captain. This guy's brilliant. He sees things others don't on a rugby sevens field. Just as I say that, he's kicked it out on the floor.
Commentary curse there, Rubes, but it was good vision from him because he looked up, took the time and saw that there was no sweeper at the back, opted to go to the left boot, might have just slipped off the bootlaces there. We spoke about it earlier. Both of these teams not offloading at all. They've really protected the ball, playing structured rugby, not wanting to take any chances, safe rugby, but not anything but enthralling.
Couple of big units for Aussie up front. Michael Isley, number 87, and Nick Malouf, the captain. He'll be the target here for Sargent. They bring it down nicely. Dowling at first receiver. Dietrich Roach leads the tournament for assists in pool play. Isley picks and goes from scrum half. Sargent, he's got Lawson with him. Oh, he puts it on a plate for Nathan Lawson. Down the narrowest of channels. And Lawson lords it once again in a knockout game.
Oh, that's what they can do. That's how they can punish you if your defensive systems aren't set up well. Steps in, lets it go. Good drawn pass. Draws the second player, the second defender in. Kua Norkia caught in 2 minds. Wanted to go make the tackle on the inside and then just not enough cover coming to take Lawson.
He scored the winning try when Australia won the Hong Kong Sevens, the first edition of that last season. Knows how to show up in big games, but that was expertly done. Try time indeed. Comes from Cronulla in South Sydney, Southern Districts Club. A lot of these players from the Shoot Shield competition in Sydney. So what have South Africa got here? They've been scoreless in their last 2 Cup quarterfinals, Cape Town and Hong Kong. Haven't scored a point yet in Australia. Have it back is big Isley. Thundering into South African territory. Dowling. Roach. Right foot step from Dietrich Roach. Sargent just loses his own footing. Flicks it out to Lawson again. Dowling reloads. Roach thinks about his captain Malouf. They're going to work the narrow channels here. Dowling, Sargent. He had Lawson again. Lawson might have been in there. Still alive here though for the Aussie Sevens. Here goes Dietrich Roach again. What a finish from Dietrich Roach. The quiet achiever of this Australian side has got their second.
They've just got so many playmakers, don't they, Australia? Losing the ball, completely bustling through. Hutchison destroying the South African ruck there. Dietrich Roach on the fend, on the bounce. Dowling really doing well for Australia at the moment. He's setting them up, he's playmaking really well. South Africa's got to get something. They got to put a stop to them.
He doesn't get the extra 2, remains 12-0. Points machine, Dietrich Roach. He once scored 343 on a series, the most since our colleague Tom Mitchell did it. Pretty good quarter-final record, 3 of 5 this season. Went to the Cup final in Cape Town and in Perth. Looking for their first gold of the season, but a lot of rugby sevens to be played before that, trying to get through to the semi against New Zealand first. Good start. South Africa again. They're going to have to work it out from their own 22. The restart game from Australia has been really good. There's Shilton van Wyk. Selvin Davids to Zane Davids. Thundering down the far touchline. He's a big bopper. But he looked like he was running downhill there.
Davids to Davids, Davids squared. Yeah, you won't look at that man and think he's got that type of pace in him, but this is what they can do. Blitzbok, Selvin Davids reading the line, waiting for the shoulders of the Australian defenders to turn. Had Zane Davids on the outside, put his chin down, pinned his ears back. Would have been worried if someone caught up to him. He didn't switch the ball into the other arm, so wouldn't have had the hand for the defend. Nonetheless, didn't need it.
Yeah, Zane Davids from Cape Town. No relation to Selvin, if you were wondering. Selwyn's from Jeffreys Bay. Good surf spot, a little further around the Eastern Cape.
Yeah, you got it right there. Come on now.
12-5, game on. Conversion didn't make it. Hutchison. Sargent thinks about kicking again. Maloof spins it off, almost inside out to Nathan Lawson. That was a clever bit of skill from the Aussie captain. Hutchison, who is actually the captain this weekend, but Maloof often in that role, sharing those duties on the series. And here goes Dietrich Roach again. Roach for the corner. What a tackle from Selwyn Davids. Did Roach get there? Was his foot in touch? Did he ground it? They'll check all of that.
Got a grounding check and touch, Arnold. Martin, try yes or no.
Oh, there's a lot to check.
Stand by there.
If Selvin Davids saved it, he really did a great job. All came from the other end. Selvin Davids had a lot of work to do. He tracked back 80, 60, 80 metres.
Ben, I have a decision.
Go ahead.
It's a no try. The Australian player is tackled and then rolls on the floor before placing the ball.
Whoa.
So restart with a penalty to South Africa.
Thank you. No try, lad. Double movement.
Well, Dietrich Roach can't quite believe that. That was Matt Rodden, the television match official, with a decision. Henry Hutchison's not so sure. And boos ring round the National Stadium in Singapore.
Yeah, I think Nick Maloof's momentum actually carried him over. Yeah, that looks like pure momentum.
Interesting one, isn't it? You see that real time, and he's just, as you say,
They've had a look. They got
carried over the line by momentum. That's what it looked like live. I thought it was just whether he got the ball over the line or got in touch, but they found a technicality to chalk it off.
Roops, that's why you and I are up here, and we're not sitting in that TMO box.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, tough job. They're there to make the big calls. They've certainly done that on that occasion. 40 seconds and a bit of change to go in this first half. Selvin Davids throws the line out. He's overthrown it, though, and Michael Hooper's out there for Australia and lashes onto it. Roach again, Dowling, inside to Hooper. Here he goes, the Wallaby greats. Brilliant hands from Nathan Lawson. Hooper again, Maloof, Roach. Long ball to Hutchison, he gets it on the bounce. Play on, says the referee. Henry's in the corner. That's a try. Australia do get their third, and it was an absolute corker.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about that. Henry Hutchison getting it down, keeping the ball alive really well here, the Australians. Looking for space, but actually creating the space. Pulling in a lot of the South African defenders. Not enough trust from that inside runner on the South African defence. So creating numbers on the outside. And Henry Hutchison, at pace, at momentum, running onto the ball like that, he's going to score every single day.
Roach with a conversion attempt from out wide, tries to fade it back, it won't get there, but what a half from the Aussie Sevens. Henry Hutchison, how many times have we seen it in the corner? 17 points to 5 in the quarter. One try to Zane Davids for the Blitzbok, but 3 for the Aussie Sevens. They go long. Off the restart, it's brilliance from Hayden Sargent. Brilliant kick.
Kept it low. Drilled it through the air, did Hayden Sargent.
Yes, please.
Just no chance for any South African to get there. You can see the pod was initially set up, the lifting pod was set up on that 15. So had to let each other go. Now they've got to play from deep. They've got to work from deep.
Yeah, that's real risk reward, isn't it, from Australia? You've got to get that right on point. If you overcook it, it's a scrum or tap on halfway to the Blitzbok. Now, as you say, they're deep in their own red zone again. Gone forward at the line out from South Africa. Australia have the ball back. That kicking game has worked for them. Here's Roach, left foot step. Dowling's there. Michael Hooper arriving at scrum half. got his first ever try in HSBC Sevens last night. Here's Sargent, who's having a whale of a game, coming around the corner, inside to Henry Hutchison. It's all gold jerseys at the moment. Sargent stays in field cleverly, 6 metres out. Maloof, Dowling, he's got loads of space to work with. Roach has got Lawson with him, holds on, gives it, and Australia score again. They turn it over at the lineouts, and then they're almost perfect with the ball in hand.
That's what you call width-to-width stuff, Rubes. Spread them on the edges, make them work. It's really been set up. Hayden Sargent, every single person had a bit to play in this. They had to find a way to make it work.
No, it's okay.
It was so far out on the outside. Nathan Lawson stayed very wide. And good work by Dietrich Roach to hold it on just long enough.
Good kick from Dietrich Roach as well. Look at that, Lawson, he's in the top 5. Level with Perry Baker, hunting down Manetta, who's out of the series with injury, and Kennedy. 276 try of the weekend. Sheikh Soyuzwapi's out there for South Africa. They're going to roll the dice now. They've been working him back in his first tournament this series. A long-time captain of this team. 24-5. Lots of time to go, though. 4:30. Need to score next, though. Tristan Lades. Impi Visser. Hardly called out a South African name in this game because they've had such little ball. Just had to do tackle after tackle. Australia actually were the top tackling team at the tournament coming into this event. And South Africa had tackled some of the least, but not in this game. Long ball over the top to Lades. Tristan Lades has got through. There's the line break they were looking for. They finally get their second try. And gee, didn't they need that?
Yeah, we spoke about they needed to be the next to score. Tristan Lades, the man stepping up for South Africa. Went quickly off feet at the breakdown. Roscoe Speckman with the quick tap. And then Impi Visser with the ball of the year to Tristan Lades. Had some work to do. Stayed on his feet, almost tripped himself with his own pace there. Then Tristan Lades. Dietrich Roach came in, did well enough to kind of cut him off and make the angle a little harder for Speckman.
Yeah, Roscoe Speckman out there takes the kicking duties. Can't add the extra 2. But it's now a 2-score game, 14 points the difference. Still plenty of time left. Passes are still 41-14 in this game. That tells you the story. More possession here for Australia as South Africa go long off the restart. Visser tries to isolate him and turn it over, and ball's loose. That's what they were looking for. Grobelaar has it. Christy Grobelaar, the boy from Western Province, has made this very interesting indeed.
Yeah, look up, heads up rugby. South Africa going for the same restart that the Australians went for, deep and low. Impi Visser came in with the hard chase and then went back. Ruck ball, trying to disrupt the ruck of the Australians. Comes loose. Christy Grobelaar sees it on the ground, makes it his own.
Conversion attempt this time from Tristan Lades. That was clever, right foot kicker, curls it in. 24-17.
Bend it like Beckham or bend it like Tristan Lades.
Time back one.
Well, couple of quick tries for the Blitzboks has changed this quarter-final. 2 minutes to go now. Gee, we've seen some cracking games tonight. This one hasn't let us down either. Here's Henry Palmer. So much pace. Good fresh energy for Australia. Remember, they got injury issues. 3 players unavailable for this quarter-final. Nick Maloof. Lawson. Roach. Not a cracking first half. Scoops it away to Dowling. Here's McGregor, who just let that previous ball go through his legs. Open the door for the South African try. Palmer sets it up. Hutchison's there, but he's just got to breach this ruck. Now someone arrives to help him out. It was Dowling. Here's Maloof, who's kicked it long. And he's on the chase, but also getting back. There's Selvin Davids. Well, that wasn't fair. Here's Soyaswapi for Grobela. Grobela just chipped to the floor by Dietrich Roach. 7-point ball game. We're inside the final minutes. If they score a converted try, we might go to golden point. Visser, Soyaswapi, Grobela, 22-metre line. Speckma, Davids, at pace, on the boil, is Norkia. He's under the bar, and the conversion will level up this quarter-final. What a comeback this has been.
Oh, they've been the comeback kings today. Kua Norkia, young blood, getting in for his third of the tournament. But South Africa were patient. This to level it.
Time for the restart.
Flags are up. We will have a restart. We are 24-all, South Africa, Australia.
Time off.
In the final cup quarter.
Yeah, did so well, was so patient, South Africa. Look at what it means. Gansiana. Kua Norkia off his feet. They had to transition a lot of defense into attack.
Season rookie.
Check. What's the, is that scoreboard?
Kua Norkia,
correct,
Blue
yeah?
Bulls.
That scoreboard's correct,
Blitzbok.
gents. Time back on.
Look at that. That tells you everything, doesn't it? It was a gold rush, pretty much.
Pictures speak 1,000 words, Roops.
Okay, here we go. Final play of regulation, 24-all. Can someone win it before we go to sudden death? Australia have the ball, importantly, for them. Lawson, Maloof. Now Lawson. Can't hold on. Australia needs to get this off the field now. Oh, they're in touch. Soyaswapi put a foot in touch, flags up. That'll take us to full time. We'll have a 2-minute break. They'll toss a coin, and for the first time this season, the Blitzboks will play in a sudden death match. Hinted the far side. He's going to go high and deep to Dowling, who's lifted by Roach. And Dylan Sage got there for South Africa. Fresh legs off the bench. There he is, number 28. Back in the Blitzboks after a long time away, but now a penalty to Australia.
Henry Hutchison pointed to the touchline immediately. This was 15s, they would have said maybe let's go to post because any point counts.
I've had two people
Any point counts, doesn't matter how you score
from
it.
the captain, he wants to line up, lads, sorry. Captain
A long way from the try line here. So Sargent's going to try and eat up the meters. Dylan Sage, he didn't look pleased with that decision. He did so well to put pressure on and thought he'd won the ball back for his team, but Australia get the lucky break.
Yeah, I think the call was from the Blitzboks that the Australian ruckers were off their feet at that breakdown. So I think that's what Dylan Sage was upset about.
So Sargent has Lawson as a target in the middle here. Contested by Impi Visser. Just gone forward again, though, of South Africa. Australia have it. Roach. Angled around.
On the shoulder, advantage knock on.
Ball's loose. Ball's gone forward. Penalty Blitzboks. Shilton van Wyk. Davids kicks for Speckman. It bounces over the head of Sargent. And it's into the hands of Dowling. Penalty Australia now. Hand over the shoulder.
Right arm is over the shoulder. High tackle.
Roscoe Speckman was calling Howell. They wanted to try and create the maul, just holding him up in that defensive effort.
On the 5, okay.
But unfortunately getting his arms on that seatbelt tackle. So another opportunity for Australia to get out of their red zone. This is what we ask for in playoff matches. Keeps us sharp, keeps the players sharp.
Ben Dowling, like Henry Hutchison from the Randwick Club in Sydney. Gets them upfield, and now Sunnybanks, Hayden Sargent will do an unorthodox line-out throw.
Offside. Let me give you the mark. Let me the mark.
And they encroached on the regulation 10 there.
Yeah, so the ball hadn't been thrown in. Got to stay on your 10. Only as soon as the ball's in the ground of play, you can start heading towards and trying to get up.
Look at Dowling there on the 22. He did go quickly, you're right.
Did go quickly, got off his mark. He wanted to receive ball in momentum.
He breaks a 10 early before the ball's left his hands.
Okay? Two line-outs in a row from Australia after penalties. And they fluffed their lines.
Roofs, I think there was a discussion from the South Africans. They wanted to go to post. Opted for the scrum instead.
Penalty would have won it. This is golden point. Any point will do. Sudden death. First score wins. They kick again, South Africa, but it hasn't worked out for them. And now Dowling runs away for Australia. He gets it out somehow to Hutchison. Here's Lawson. Malouf. Schultz and Van Wyk runs out of the line. And he's hit Roach hard here.
Time off.
And he might have hit him high.
Matty, on field, I have a high tackle. I want to check potential serious foul play, please.
Stand by then.
Yeah, so Schultz Van Wyk went to make the hit. He got off his line very, very early, did Schultz Van Wyk. Knew that the ball was coming in. The mitigation might be that Dietrich Roach was bent at the knees. Maybe just not bent enough.
Big call here in a quarter-final.
It's a definite yellow card, that we know. But if it's going to be a red, is what's being checked.
Ben, I have a decision for you. There is foul play by green 12.
Yeah.
Direct contact to the head. However, the ball carrier has dropped his height. Therefore, a yellow card.
You should be a TMO, Layla. Called it perfectly.
No, thank you.
Yellow card for Schultz and Van Wyk. South Africa down to 6. Big opportunity now for Australia.
Yeah, and if you're Australia, you have to think to take the set piece, but tap and go is the plan.
Well, yeah, don't kick to the sideline for the line out. Here's Nick Malouf, the captain, up over the halfway line. Cover coming across, but they won't catch him. Nick Malouf wins it for Australia and puts the Aussie Sevens into a cup semi-final in Singapore.
They've done this well the whole day. Held onto the ball for the very, very last moment. Had two dummy runners running different lines. The South African defence over-tracking. You can see Impie Visser looking towards his inside man. But Nick Malouf, the captain, what a splendid way to finish your day too. That's pure determination.
Stretching every sinew. Nick Malouf. And Henry Hutchison is co-captain of Australia. Absolute elation for the Aussie Sevens. They're through to the last 4 here in Singapore. And they had to do it in extra time. Brilliant comeback from South Africa. Take nothing away from them. It was an extraordinary second half from them. But Australia take away the win here, and they will play against New Zealand for a place in the cup final here at the National Stadium.